Welcome back. Why would trained members of one of Africa's deadliest terrorist groups suddenly walk into a Nigerian military camp and surrender? What happened inside their camps that made them abandon the fights? Those are the questions many Nigerians are asking after 3 suspected ISWAP fighters reportedly laid down their weapons and chose to cooperate with the Nigerian military. Their decision, according to security sources, may provide fresh insights into the growing pressure facing insurgent groups operating around the Lake Chad region. Daily Post reported that 3 suspected fighters of the Islamic State West African Province, ISWAP, surrendered to troops of the Nigerian Army in Damasak, Borno State, during Operation Handikai. According to security sources quoted by counter-insurgency analyst Zagozola Makama, the suspect voluntarily surrendered to troops of Headquarters 5 Brigade after reportedly deciding they could no longer cope with the sustained military operations targeting ISWAP strongholds. The development is being viewed as another indication of the continued pressure Nigerian security forces are placing on terrorist groups operating in the northeast. According to the reports, the 3 suspects were identified as Abba Musa Dogo, Abubakar Bagaji, and Ibrahim Abubakar. Security sources said the men surrendered to Nigerian troops after fleeing from terrorist camps located at Sabongeri and Tubumota areas, reportedly under the control of ISWAP commanders identified as Abu Fatima and Abu Ayuba. Their decision to leave those camps reportedly came after months of increasingly difficult conditions inside the insurgents' enclaves. During preliminary questioning, the suspect reportedly told investigators that continuous area bombardments and ground offensive by Nigerian troops had made survival inside the camps extremely difficult. According to the sources, the sustained military pressure had weakened the insurgents' ability to operate freely, forcing many members to live under constant fear of military attacks. They reportedly concluded that remaining with the group was becoming increasingly dangerous. The suspects allegedly stated that exhaustion and the harsh realities of life inside the camps played major roles in their decision to surrender. According to the information provided by security sources, they no longer believed they could continue living under the difficult conditions created by repeated military operations. Their reported statement suggests that the combined air and ground campaign has significantly affected the daily operations of insurgent groups in parts of the northeast. The 3 suspects also reportedly provided information about the kind of training they received while inside the terrorist organization. According to security sources, they claimed they were trained as gunboat operators and anti-aircraft gunners, indicating that ISWAP continues to prepare some of its members for specialized operations around the Lake Chad region. The revelation provides further insights into the group's military structure and operational capabilities. Another aspect of the reported testimony concerned how weapons are controlled within the organization. According to the suspects, firearms were not permanently issued to individual fighters. Instead, weapons were reportedly distributed only before specific operations and collected immediately afterward by commanders once each mission had ended. If accurate, the account suggests that ISWAP maintains strict control over its arsenal in an effort to reduce the risk of weapons being lost, stolen, or used without authorization. Security analysts have long argued that terrorist organizations operating in the Lake Chad Basin often enforce rigid command structure designed to prevent defections and maintain discipline among their members. The suspect reported description of centralized weapons control appears consistent with previous accounts from former insurgents who have described tightly controlled operational procedures inside extremist groups. According to the reports, all 3 suspects also expressed their willingness to abandon insurgents permanently and embrace peace. Security authorities are expected to carefully assess those claims as part of ongoing de-radicalization and intelligence gathering efforts. Like other individuals who voluntarily surrender, they will undergo detailed screening and profiling before any decisions are made regarding their future. The surrender comes as Nigerian troops continue sustained military operations under Operation Handikai, one of the country's principal counter-insurgency campaigns in the northeast. The operation combines ground assaults, intelligence gathering, and area bombardment aimed at dismantling terrorist camps, disrupting supply routes, and weakening the operational capabilities of insurgent groups such as ISWAP and Boko Haram. Military authorities have repeatedly stated that the objective of the operation is not only to eliminate terrorist threats, but also to encourage defection by creating conditions that make it increasingly difficult for insurgents to continue fighting. Security experts say successful military campaigns often combine combat operations with opportunities for willing fighters to surrender, providing intelligence and disengage from extremist activities. Information obtained from surrendered fighters has, in previous operations, assisted security agencies in understanding the structure, leadership, and movement of insurgent groups. Such intelligence can help identify hideouts, supply routes, recruitment methods, and planned attacks, making voluntary surrenders an important source of operational information in counterterrorism efforts. Despite these reported surrenders, security experts continue to caution that the insurgency remains a serious challenge. ISWAP has demonstrated the ability to regroup, recruit new members, and adapt its tactics in response to military pressure. For that reason, analysts argue that sustained military operations, improved intelligence sharing, and stronger regional cooperation remain essential to preventing terrorist groups from rebuilding their capabilities. At the time of reporting, the 3 suspects remained in military custody, while further profiling and investigations continued. Nigerian security agencies are expected to carefully verify the information provided during questioning and determine whether additional intelligence can assist ongoing operations against terrorist networks operating in the Lake Chad region. While the reported surrender of the 3 suspected ISWAP fighters may represent a tactical success for Nigerian troops, security officials continue to stress that the fight against terrorism is far from over. The military's objective remains the complete dismantling of insurgent networks, the restoration of peace to affected communities, and the safe return of displaced residents. Whether this latest surrender signals a broader weakening of ISWAP or simply an isolated development will likely become clearer as military operations continue in the months ahead. Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you find this report informative, kindly like, share, and subscribe for more news reports. I'm Chidera Isom. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next reports.